All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Real, the Ratchet, the Reckless. This is your girl, Nessa motherfucking Nandez, yo. I'm back. You guys know it's Make It Happen Monday, and you come here every Monday to get a dose of real-ass motivation. Today's guest is the one and only clothing brand owner of Soul Threadz, Janelle Gamboa, y'all. Let me give you
Thank you for having me.
What's up, girl? No motherfucking problem. Look, this is why Instagram, it has like its pros and its cons, right? Like it be annoying as fuck, but then it gives us a privilege to meet like inspiring people like you and people that we like to bring here every motherfucking Monday. Janelle, let's just jump right the fuck in. So motherfucking threads, girl. How are you? First of all, where you from? Where you repping? Where did this all start? Where did Janelle? Who's Janelle? Where she come from?
Yes. Okay. So, like she mentioned, my name's Janelle. I am the owner of Soul Threadz. I am actually from a very small city called Doherty, California. So I rep 626.
Okay.
But I grew up in LA culture. I'm literally like 15 minutes away from LA. So a lot of my inspiration for Soul Threadz comes from Los Angeles culture. I mean, I was born and raised like a Laker fan, so I feel like I was always in that city. But
All
yeah.
right. Okay, we love to hear. You know what? We love to hear LA. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all be like, okay, everybody hates LA people, but I really feel, I always say this. I don't know if you can relate and we can dive a little bit into this. And I want to know how you feel because, you know, a lot of people are coming to LA and there's nothing wrong with people moving out here. It's just the mix up that people get when I meet people and they're just like, oh, LA people are this, LA people are that. And I'm just like, who have you been talking to? Like, because it's like people be like, oh yeah, LA people are bougie. It's like we can't be bougie, we're broke. Like LA's broke.
Yeah.
You guys know that? Like I don't understand. So I really feel like they get it mixed up. If I don't know if you can relate, but a lot of people that aren't from here are kind of changing the view of LA, and I be feeling some type of way because it's like some of us are really just humble because we were so broke growing up, and it is what it is. And I love LA, but people forget that LA has like its little areas that people think LA is Beverly Hills and Hollywood, which I mean, kinda, not really, but it's not. No, right? But no.
Now that you bring it up, I do meet people often and they're like, I'm from like Ohio or I'm from like another state.
Yeah.
What's out there? Like,
Right?
but also at the same time, I feel like when people come out here, they have explored LA more than I have. Like I'm like going to like in the cut, like I'm going to spots, like I'm not going to like, you know,
All the
like
nice
on
brunch areas.
yeah, no, I'm not. And I'm like, and if I am, I'll just go to somewhere down the street. Like, I don't know. I love LA. Literally, that's where I get my inspiration from. But I can definitely see how people put out an image out there. And it's like, first of all, call
That's
me
not the way to go.
yeah, and say that I'm bougie. Like, people in LA fight. Like,
Yes. Thank you.
like,
Thank you. In reality, people don't get down no more. But you know why? Because I also found out like you could really go to jail. Like growing up in LA, it is, you know, and not to just como se dice, glamorize violence, because dear God. But like really, if you know, you know. Like the way you grow up, it's kind of the culture, the norm. Not to say it like that, but it's just if somebody's popping off, you pop off, and that's it. And then that's it. And then everybody go home, and then that's it. We don't drag it on. We don't talk about. I mean, people talk, but I just feel like nowadays nobody does that. And then also when you get older, you're just like, oh shit, I really could go to jail. Like I really could go to jail. And then you're like, wait, I'm really too pretty, like to be doing all this. Like, no, bitch.
exactly.
No.
The way that my nails are set up.
Right? Look, I already popped mine off, but the new set coming today, bitch. Today. Anyway, we're like, look at us going. Okay, so Janelle Gamboa, Soul Threadz, put two and two together last night, and I found you through Las Chicas del Barrio, bitch. Those girls are fucking sweet. Shout out to Las Chicas del Barrio, bitch podcast. Go follow them right now. They are truly sweethearts, and I could see that. People will be like, oh, Instagram is an image, but in reality, sometimes if you really pay close attention, you can tell how people are. Like if they post videos, you can tell the vibe, right? So I'm just like, you know what? So I found them through you, and I think they reposted you, and I think it was that Laker shirt. So I love that you said you grew up a Laker fan and you actually dropped like a Laker shirt, right? So I saw that, and then I saw the Soul Threadz, and that's when I was like, Soul Threadz. And I love the way you spell threads with the Z, bitch, because it's like that's how we be texting, bitch. Get over it. So I love that. That was definitely like you threw a little twist, and I checked you out, and yeah, basically what I get from your page is you go through it, you literally grow through it, right? Because that's what it's like. You feed through the soul, you grow, you literally go through things to grow through it. I really feel like Soul Threadz is so you. And I just want to know if am I right, bitch? Am I right? Like, what's the connection with Janelle and Soul Threadz? Let me know.
Yeah, so honestly, I guess kind of going into how Soul Threadz started was I was working for a real estate company in Pasadena, and Soul Threadz was like something that I was doing on the side. I just graduated from college, and
Nice.
I just felt like everything that I was doing from that point was for someone else. And when I thought about my first design, which was the Empower design, something like I had like an intuition, and something was like, just roll with it. Like I don't know what I was gonna do after Empower. Like it could have just been the Empower design, and I would have not known what to do after. But kind
I'm
of,
sorry. When you did Empower, you already had the name Soul Threadz?
yeah, so
Okay,
I
okay.
had the name Soul Threadz. What's funny, and such a side story, and I feel like no one knows this, but I had Soul Threadz before, and I was trying to do vintage. So I was like buying thrift stuff, like now it's a huge thing. Like now it's a strategy. But I was just like, I love shopping, so I was just like kind of flipping, and it didn't really work. I wasn't really taking it serious. I was still in college. So that was called Soul Threadz. And when Empower was brought up, I could probably tell you it was probably like a year later. I was just like, I still like Soul Threadz. Like I still rock with Soul Threadz, you know, but that account was deleted everything, and then I redid it again.
Love it.
But everything that all of my designs have something, or all of my launches have something to do with what I'm going through. Empower, I thought about it because I was working for a corporate job that I was like super head over heels for. And I was like, oh my God, I'm working for a dream company, this and that. And it ended up not being what I wanted. Like the atmosphere was just like very like politicking. And for me, I'm like, I didn't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And in my head, like when I was like driving to work every day, I was like, why aren't people like, one of the things that stuck in my head is like, people you see every day, you walk by them and you don't acknowledge them. I was like, why aren't people like cultivating each other, or like
United, like, hey, making the vibe better. Like, why everybody acting like they gotta stick up their ass? I like your
know,
hair. I like your
you
hair,
see
Jenny.
me. Yeah, you see me clock in all the time, you know. So when I thought of Empower, I was just like really out of low in like my career, and like also thinking like, is this gonna be my life the rest of my life? Working for someone, not feeling good, feeling tired at the end of the day. It wasn't for me. It could be for other people, but it was not for me. And so when I thought of the word empower, when I think of empower, it's like, it's nothing but positive. And I feel like once that design is so simple, the shirt is so simple, but it's a staple. Like I feel like everyone associates that design with my brand. And then from there, like it kind of just like it went into trickling into another design, and Soul Threadz just started to grow. And before COVID, I honestly was like, oh shit, this is a dud. Like, who's gonna spend their hard working money on like a small business?
And people losing their jobs.
Yes, like I get it, like I understand, but with like the pandemic happening, and then also like, you know, like I know at the end of the day I work to where I am right now, I adjusted, and I really put my heart out there. Like every single launch,
Oh
I've
yeah, you
talked
can
about this
tell.
before. It's taxing on my soul, and not in a bad way, but more of like, whew, I'm releasing this, I've been working so hard, there's some type of like emotional attachment I have to it. With LA Soul, I did LA Soul because I was like tapping into my inner child, watching games with my family and having moments like that, and getting older, it's not the same. So it was a moment of me trying to find what makes me happy, what made me happy when I was a young kid, innocent, like not worried about that. So literally everything that I put out is literally me. And it's scary, but at the same time, the fact that people are like feeling that and feeling it through the product, and then like having those conversations, and like what you told me, like just validates like my work. Yeah,
Yeah.
my work is speaking for itself. So
It's so crazy because it's so loud, but it's so soft. You feel me? Like it's out there, but it's not. And not that intimidating is like supposed to be. Like sometimes things are just a little too much because I'm too much. I like extra. You feel me? But like I love how gentle your brand is, and it's like I said, it's so you. You're gentle. You're gentle, but you're boom. Like you're out there, but it's not aggressive. You feel me? And I like that because it's not like, oh, you all up in my face. So I like that Soul Threads, and I was gonna tell you that because if I like when people kind of leave their old stuff, like their old posts, because it kind of just shows you how they've grown through the time. And it's interesting to do that because when I bring guests on, I scroll all the way to the bottom because I want to know when you started, how it started, and what it looked like. And what I can say is like, damn, bitch, your start, you everything you post is intentional. And they always say that's really important in like strategic wise, like on Instagram shit, there's like a bunch of rules, like make sure every post is intentional. And that's really hard because I don't be giving a fuck, but that's really hard because it all comes together. And I can say it looks good. It looks good, Janelle. And it looks like every post was intentional. And that's what I was going to ask is like, when you went into Soul Threads and you said, I'm going to do this, I feel from what I see, because I don't know, it looks like you went in hard. Like your photo shoots, your the people that are in the photos, like they genuinely look like they're a part of you. You get me? Like it looks genuine. It don't look like you just said, hey girl, you're hot. I kind of need you to put this shirt on and rock it. You get me? Like it really looks so united. It looks like it's you. It looks homey. But it looks powerful. It looks really powerful. And I kind of want to know, like, do you feel like you went in like all balls in, or how do you feel about the journey really?
Yeah, like I think the moment that I made the decision of, okay, like, am I going to do this full time? One, and what's going to happen after, or like, I guess my whole thing is I've been working since I got out of high school. And when the pandemic hit, I lost my job. And then I shifted towards Soul Threads. And then now that things are getting better, and like in the most humble way possible, like I'm having opportunities being brought to me now that things are opening up, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm ready to go back to working for someone. And it's not a bad thing, but it's something that I want. And Soul Threads is like the one thing where I'm like, I know that I'm gonna take this somewhere. Like
Oh,
I see
girl.
it, I feel it. Yeah, like I just have like something is telling me in my heart that, right now this is my grind time. Maybe I'm not going to see everything come to me right away, but I feel the momentum, and like you bringing up like my shoots, my content. That's when I was really like, okay, if I'm gonna do this,
You
let
gotta
me
go
do this.
hard.
Yeah, I have to. And I'm so blessed because like you bringing up the people that model for me, those are my homies. Like I
Yeah, no,
just have
you
some
can tell body
homies.
language, body language, body
Yes,
language.
and Soul Thread shoots are always a vibe. Like I
Yeah.
always drink a bottle of Hennessy, but it's also
Yeah.
just like the energy, like just like how people say you surround yourself with like people just like you. Like if you ever come into my circle, or if you ever see the people that I hang out with, they're family to me. Like I can knock on my homegirl's door right now and she's not there, and I can kick it with her family. Me bringing my homies into my brand is kind of like, well, I want them to model for me because, you know, budget wise, but also it's just like they look so good. Like they embody what I want Soul Threadz to look like. And also because I know them personally, I know that they're representing my brand, because like they're like, I use, for the most part, I constantly use the same models. I may switch them out. But at the end of the day, if you ever met them at for a separate thing, but you recognize them from my shoot, like I love them, you know? So it's just every time I reach out to someone to like be a part of, to model for me, it's because I see that they're embodying what I would want to embody and what I want Soul Threadz to be represented by.
Yes. No, and I like that. It's humbling, and it also makes it because listeners, right? My listeners are mostly Black and brown. You get me? It's Black and brown. I mean, and I feel like that's what's really important. Is like when you're creating something, and as so far so good, Janelle. I like this so far. When you're creating and when you're doing, it's really, like we always say, it's really important to make sure it's you, because I feel like that's what really makes everyone else connect. Like we want our people to arise. We want our people to get everything they deserve. Well, guess what? It starts with you, bitch. Like it starts with how you're gonna do it and how welcoming it is gonna be to your people. It makes me feel like I can rock it too, and it does it. You know, it's like when you go somewhere to Beverly Hills, but you ain't gonna walk into that store when that motherfucking mannequin don't look like you. Number one, it ain't shaped like you, and it's something that you probably would wear, but you probably can't really afford because you know how expensive it is. But also, I feel like when you can connect with it, you're willing to drop money. You get me? Like if I can connect, or if it's an event, I need to be there because I'm going to connect, and the people there are just going to come from where I come from and share the same struggles, and we have similarities. I'm going to be there. And I feel like Soul Threadz is that. Soul Threadz definitely is LA. I definitely feel the LA through it. You're definitely LA. I'm like, I could feel your little vibe. So I think that's beautiful, Janelle. Shout out to you. And another just quick question. In the beginning of the journey of your business, how did family take this? You know, we're Latinos, bitch. How did family really take this? You said you went to college, you graduated. What did you graduate in? Tell me all of that.
So I'm actually Filipino.
Oh my God. I swear to you, there was this one picture I saw, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she looked like she might be Asian. I'm like, no, she Latina. She Latina.
Yeah.
Oh no, but God. Are you mixed or just Filipino?
No, I'm Filipino. Like both my parents are literally from the Philippines.
But you know, Filipinos are Latinos. I always say this.
We are. We really are. Like I'm just like, no, girl, you talk to me however you want to talk. But I am Filipino. Both my parents are from the Philippines. I'm first generation.
Wow.
And they came down here, you know, and they
that's talking girl, already saying first generation. I'm like, well, that was your ass.
Like, so my mom, okay, so fast forwarding to now, my parents are doing so well. Like my mom is in like the aerospace industry as like an operations manager. But when she came out here, she started off with like literally 2 taco jobs in LA. And like, she told me like the first time she tried like getting citizenship, she's like, I messed it up. Like I fucked up and I had to go back to the Philippines. And she tried it again. So like, that's like super overview story of like how she got here. But growing up, it was always like, go to school, go to college. They got me through college. You know, I'm so blessed. And to be honest with you, if it was my choice to go to college, I don't think I would have been prepared, but I was really like trying to do it for my parents. So when I finally graduated, which I was like, who gave me a degree? Like, I was like, I barely made it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember graduation, I was like dead tired. I was not good at school. But I did it. I feel like when I really set my mind to something, like I have
to like, get it done regardless.
Yeah. It may suck, but like I'm gonna do it. And that was something that I wanted to do for my parents. And so when I first started Soul Threadz, I didn't really say anything to anyone. I wasn't really saying like, just to let you guys know, I'm going to start a brand, da 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 da. Like, I was just like, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to just rock with whatever I want to do. So I think in the beginning, they thought of it as more of a hobby, which I can understand. But I can say now, there was a moment when my mom, and I'm sorry if I get emotional, but like, I remember this moment, but my mom went to a pop-up in my hometown, and that was my first pop-up actually. And she came with my aunts and my uncle, and she was like talking to me, and she was just like, you know, we can do this at home. She's like, and her telling me that, she's like, you can do a pop-up at the house, or like, or we can have people pop up at the house too. Like, that made me realize like she sees it too.
She supports, yeah.
And I think that's what's happening is at first, I wouldn't want to say they were against it. I think at first they were just like, that's not going to take you to where you should be, or
they're not
like,
used to that being like the dream, the dream here. Like, here is you go to school, you make it, and you get paid. That's what everybody sees when they come to this country, you know,
that whole 9-to-5 life.
Yeah.
And because I had it right after college. I had that 9-to-5 life. So, you know, I was like, the money that I was making from that, I was like giving to them, and, you know, and then like, I didn't want that. It wasn't making me happy. And the one thing I told myself when I graduated, because I realized enough that, yeah, it's about the money, but also like, how do I feel at the end of the day? Like, I really care about the intrinsic value of everything that I do. So like, me making the decision, it was kind of like low key, and it was kind of like I'm gonna just do whatever I want to do, but like, it's in their face. Like, my mom follows my brand, like they support me so much now, and it's very known. Like, they helped me build my studio. I'm not in my studio now. My studio is literally like a flipped shed. It looks fire. But
I saw you posted it.
It's a little hot. I'm trying to like make sure my parents are good at the end of the day, at the end of all of this. So it's like, I'm thinking about what I need to do as like a daughter of parents who came from the Philippines and had nothing, literally like had to build up their lives and take both their children through college. Like, I have so much that I need to give back to them. When I think about what I want to do, I'm so certain that this is for me. I'm taking.
Bro, your heart's in it. You have the passion. You're gonna do it. You know, the dream doesn't work unless you work. And if you believe, we're all gonna believe. Because I believe. I believe in you. And your story is beautiful, Janelle. How old are you?
I just turned 26, May 29.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Oh my God. No, your story is definitely deep. And let me tell you, a friend of mine told me, because I'm the same way, I want to help. And I hope that my family and my mom, because of saying my mom gave her life to us. My mom was born here, but her parents weren't. But still, like, just in general, as a mom, she kind of just always chose to be a mom before anything. And all her little accomplishments have been coming now lately, like in the last 5-10 years, which is great because we're all grown. So she gets to still live her life because she had us really young. But still, it makes me emotional because I have no kids. I live here alone. Like, I live with my mom, and it's like, girl, your mom would love to have this time when she was your age, because she had 3 of us by my age. And I always think about that. Like, some of us need to remember, because I just checked myself, and that's why I asked how old you are, because you look really young. So I'm like, she seems really, really young, and your head is really up. Like, you are, girl, you're on it. And I'm thinking, like, for people, something I didn't think, because look, real ratchet and reckless really is me, bitch. I'm reckless because I've never really thought about the future, just to be honest with you. Like, I always thought, like, oh, I have personality, I'm a nice person, like, I'm gonna land a job somewhere, I'm gonna be okay, which is true. It's thank God that life has been like that for me. I land jobs because I genuinely think because of me, because of myself, not because I'm the shit at Excel or like, no, I literally have gotten the jobs because of who I am. But I've never thought long term until recently, and I'm 27. But I didn't start thinking long term until like a year or two ago. And I think it's really important that we remember that we remember where we come from and we remember our future. And not to put pressure on you, but if you want to help, like me and Janelle want to help our people and our family, you got to help you first. You got to help you first. And I feel like that's been a lot for me to realize. And a friend had to tell me that, like, Vanessa, you're trying to help everybody, girl, but you're not helping yourself. You're going to give all your juice away and then nobody's really going to, what are you going to give? Because you're not going to have anything for you. If you want to keep helping others, help yourself right now. Go 100 on yourself right now. Chase what you want. That way you can help all the people you love.
Yes. Oh my God.
So like your mindset, girl, you're right. Yes.
No, it's so true. And I feel like a testimony to that is I battle with mental health. You know, I've had like really, really like crazy like depression modes, and recently I did when COVID hit. Like I'm sure like it surfaced a lot for a lot of people. And one of the things was I wasn't doing good. I was going through depression and I went MIA from Soul Threadz. And what happened was when I was finally ready to come back, I had to reflect on, yes, it's about work. Yes, it's about like what are we doing every day to like keep going up, keep going up. But literally, if you're not good with yourself, like you're gonna be burnt out eventually, or you're just gonna just want to throw your hands up and be like, what is there to live for? And I feel like when I was working in the professional field, that no one was taking like personal stuff serious. Like we try to say separate personal with professional, but if you're not happy, you're not going to be happy anywhere else. So you saying like, if you don't help yourself, you can't help other people. It's very true, because I'm sure like you've been in a place where you needed to help yourself and you're helping other people and you're doing a great job at that. Yeah. But imagine if you were like filling into your cup, how much more range you would have, how much more you can speak into other people, you know? So that's the number one thing. If I'm not good,
oh my God, you know, that's gonna make me cry.
Yeah, no, it's really
because
like
I thought it, but it's the way you said it. Like I feel like I give good to people, but you're 100% right. If I filled up my cup more, I can give more. And I never even thought about it like that.
Yes. No, and it's like you can always give, but it's also like you can like you'll be a movement when you have it for yourself, you know. And at the end of the day, we got to think like we want to do this for the longevity. We have to do it the right way. We have to do it in the right heart, in the right mindset.
Yeah. And I think back to money, I think you did make that comment earlier. Like, it's not even more about the money. It's your soul is connected to Soul Threadz. You know, like you said that, like you're in it, and it's things that you need to release. And I love how it connects with your mental health. Like, bitch, I need to put this out. Like, and I'm gonna put it out in a way that I know is gonna give back to me and my people. I think this is perfect time. I wanted to talk about this, and I think it's so cool for me to just dive into it now that we're talking about it. But you know how everyone, I don't know if you can relate. I hope you can relate. So you know how everyone's like, oh, like self-love, like everyone needs to do self-love. Like, do you really? And then when it started, because it's like a trend, to be honest, like nobody was talking about self-love. Now everybody's talking about it. And it's a good trend. It's a positive, it's a good trend, right? So it's like self-love. Yeah, self-love is everything. Self-care. My sister is amazing at it. She does a lot of things for herself. And I'm just like I'm the messy girl, the fun girl, the loud girl, right? Whatever. I'm that girl. But literally yesterday I was thinking, because I don't know how it kept coming up, and it was like, oh, in order for you to keep doing well, like you have to be well, right? Like it just, things been connecting back to that. I've been hearing it, is like little signs everywhere. So I'm like, I think I have self-love, like I'm confident, because you start asking yourself, like, do I need to improve myself? Do I love myself? And the first thing we all say is like, yeah, of course I love myself. I do love myself, right? But I think it's deeper than that because I wasn't getting it. I'm like, if self-love was this easy, why do I still question self-love if I love myself so much? Why do I still question what is self-love? So literally, I Google everything, bitch. I literally Google everything. So I was like, what is self-love? What is self-love? Or how can I improve my self-love? I literally Googled this yesterday. And a lot of the articles kept having the same things. So I'm like, okay, these must be the things that really make you check in. And to be quite honest, I feel like I had 70% of them, 75%, which made me feel pretty good, right? You're like, oh, but I feel like I didn't have the main ones. Like I had all the other ones, like, oh, feel beautiful, tell yourself you're bomb. Like, I'm like, okay, I do that. I do all that. But it was like, I don't know which one kind of stood out. Oh, there was one that I recently, it was like, let go of toxic people. Like, if you really love yourself, you're not going to keep toxic people around you because you're not putting yourself first because they're draining you. They're draining you. So that was one of them that stood out. I was like, okay, I kind of started doing that. That person is out of my picture, but we got to keep them out. You get me? Like, you have to tell yourself because in reality, if you're a nice bitch like me, you're just like, I wish them well. Like, if you ever need me, hit me up. But it's like, you can't always just do that because you really need to remove them. And it's like, okay, I removed them, but do I feel like they're gone forever? Are they going to be removed? You have to know they're going to be removed forever, unless they were to like magically turned into like the fairy godmother and be a nice bitch. But it's like, they're probably not. Maybe like 10 years from now, I pray that they get in a better place. But it's like, as of now, you drain me and you cannot be part of me. You get me? So it was like one of those, it was feeding your soul, feeding yourself good stuff, bitch. I eat hot Cheetos all the time, and like I eat bad stuff, and even though it's bomb, that whatever, like it's in the culture too. I'm sure you guys have great food. There's these little Filipino food that we always eat because one of my aunt, one of my tias, she has a best friend. She's Filipino. She's a shit. She brings like these little. They look like wrapped. What are lumpias or
Lumpia. It's like it looks like
yes.
what it is, an egg roll.
Yeah, they're little, right? Oh,
Yeah.
bitch, those are so bad. We love those. But anyway, I don't know how I got there. I don't even know why that came up. But so it was, oh yeah, what we eat, right? So in the culture, there's great food, but it does make you sluggish. Like some of our food or the some junk that I eat makes me sluggish. And it's like, move your beautiful body, like show your body that it's worth being outside, being in the, and I'm just like, oh no, bitch, I hate nature. So then that's when I started realizing, like, yes, my self-love can be improved, but it's like those things, literally removing toxic people and feeding your soul good things will make you better and even open your mind and help anything that we're doing, like our brand that we hope that gets us far, you know. But I just wanted to touch on self-love, and I don't know if you've ever felt like, do you have self-love? Do you need to improve it? What is self-love and how do you do it?
So well, one of my launches is called Find Your Soul. So I feel like that's like kind of going into, I feel like Find Your Soul was like the pinnacle of like, okay, I'm gonna take Soul Threadz to a different level. Because Empower was so simple, but Find Your Soul is like an airbrush effect. It was like something that I was like, I wanted a specific look, and if it can't get to that, then I'm not going to manufacture it. But when I did Find Your Soul, I'm putting myself back into that place. When I just got out of college, I've always been doing something for someone else, like how I told you, like I was pretty much going to school for my family, and that was motivation on itself. And yeah, like I've learned so much like going to college. But if you asked me one day, like, you don't have to go to college anymore, I think I would have been like, okay, then bye.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
like it was hard for me. So I feel like when I thought of Find Your Soul, I was in the moment of, I lost myself. And also at the time, I was going through a really bad breakup. And I love hard, and I love myself for that. But at the same time, I recognize like I can cut anyone off when it comes to like friends, and I'll cut off a family member. Like I've done that before.
Yeah.
I really don't even second guess it. I'm just like, you're not doing this for me, or you've done something toxic towards me. I don't need to be in your realm. But when it comes to a relationship, I try a little harder. And I think it's just a side note, I think it comes from like Filipino culture. It's illegal to get a divorce in the Philippines. So I think it's just like growing up, I just see like the woman
Gotta
always,
hold it down. Oh, girl,
yeah,
yeah, same,
and
same.
holding it down. That's honestly what it is. So
You know, just to keep it 100, I really feel like it really just be white people that be moving on. I swear. Like,
yeah,
I swear. In every other culture, they've been like here. And it's like the white people be like, oh yeah, hey John. Like, yeah, that's my ex-husband. Like, we're at the barbecue together. Like, here's my new man that's like way better than John. Like, they really got no problem dropping motherfuckers.
yes.
But it's like
I'm
people with like culture, you know, like us that come from other countries and cultures in our family. It's literally family is everything. You hold your family together. You do whatever it takes to keep that tight. And as beautiful as that sound, it's traumatizing.
It's traumatizing, and also just like not realizing that you're in a bad relationship, and like also like realizing like there's manipulation
Oh,
involved.
yes.
Like I like, to be honest with you, like months ago, I was not getting out of bed. I literally, my mom was sleeping in my bed with me. My friends, the moment they got out of work, they were here with me because I was going through very, very bad depression again. And I can tell you now, today, like I'm finally in a place where I can wake up and I do things for myself. So now that I have some type of power back, I've been trying to get to do things like, just like how you said, like I'm trying to find what does self-love mean to me. And you mentioned, like, you know, there was a list that they were telling you, like, move your body, and I need to exercise, but also at the same time, like, I don't know. I'm not an exercise person.
I know, girl, and I'm the same way. It's like, don't tell me to do 10 jumping jacks. I'm not gonna do them. But I just
Yeah.
feel like for me, what works, and look, I hated school, I hate structure. That's just who I've been. And and it's been hard for me for my personal brand because it's like I need structure, I need discipline in order to succeed for my own stuff, my own brand. But it's always been hard for me. Structure is not my shit, discipline is not my shit. So, bitch, I'm not gonna go over there and run a mile every motherfucking day. But
Yeah, no.
I could go on a walk, I could connect it with something like, oh, I want, you know, like I just feel like I need to move my body. I love my body. And I feel like that's also part of self-love. Like love what you look like. It is what you look like. And if you want to do a little something better, do something to tweak it. But personally, I just feel like the exercising wise, I just feel sluggish, you know, like, and I feel like that's where it can become tricky. Like, oh, body imaging, like, oh, whatever, fuck what everybody looks like. I always say this all the time, bitch, catch me in a crop top with my belly out. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just
Yes.
over it. I've been in quarantine. Like, everybody's just like, oh my God, all you have is crop tops. Yes, bitch. Because guess what? I'm gonna just get old and then I'm gonna be sad that I just because a little long hair was out, my low stomach, that I couldn't wear a crop top. Like, bitch, no. Like, but I know that if I wanted to look, I wanted to slim down or look a little whatever better, whatever the word is, I could go on a walk. But I just feel for me, it's more about like I need to move my body because bitch, my bones hurt. Like when I go turn up, my knees hurt. Like my body hurts.
Piggybacking off to that, it's like find what works for you. You know, bringing up like social media, like I think we think like we got to wake up at 6 a.m. every day, go to the gym for 2 hours. Like when I'm at the gym for 5 minutes, I'm like, bro,
Ready to
I'm out
go.
of breath. Like I feel like I've been here.
Yeah, you just
know?
hear everybody, you hear all the machines, you're like, ah.
Yes. And I'm like, this girl has been on the treadmill longer than I am, but I'm gonna go.
I'm out. Like, bitch, I'm typing out. Yes, you won, bitch. Yes, you won.
I'm like, that was just a warm up. I'm gonna go stretch now in the room.
Yeah.
But I think for me, how I'm finding my self-love right now is literally applying myself in different things. And if I'm like, if that didn't work, then whatever. But it's also like you have to experience certain things to know what works for you. And what works for me is it's like being around other people that are doing.
I did want to dive into like, okay, so I just seen you just drop something. I saw it on Instagram. It's everywhere. You're so excited to talk about it. So I just want, and it's a collab, right? You did a collab. So let's dive a little bit into that. And then we can dive into what's to come for Soul Threadz, boo.
Yes. So I just started posting the first look of my collab with Malays, which they happen to be a Doherty brand as well. So a brand from my hometown. Actually, that's like going back to when I was talking about my first pop-up. It was a pop-up that he hosted at his house. And he invited me to come by and like to be a vendor. And that was my, like, I was like, you want me to be there type of thing, you know? So it was one of those things where like that brand held a special place in my heart, because Caesar, who is the owner of Malays, he always spoke, I know he wanted to work. Like, he was always ready to work. Like, he was telling me, like, we need to do a collab. We need to do a collab. It's actually funny because one time, and this is what anxiety does for you, but one time we planned a meeting to go to a coffee shop. This was before COVID. So we've been talking about this before COVID, like way before COVID. And I backed out last minute, and I told him, like, you know, like, I got into something with school, and I just feel like I'm not ready, and I want my experience with you. I want your experience with me to be powerful and to be significant to you, and I'm not in that right headspace to do a collab.
I love the honesty though. Because dude, there's people that just run for it and be like, oh, something came up, like I can't make it. And I never take those personal, because I'm like, they're going through something, they're not ready. They're not. So I love that you can be so open and honest. Like, I can't give you 100. If I do something with you, it's gonna be 30%. Like, I can't give you the 100, and I want, and even for yourself, you're like, I wanted that shit to be bomb. And honestly, I'm gonna post it somewhere here. That shit look clean. It's bomb. The pictures. I'm like, okay, bitch.
Yes. So now, like, we finally got into a place where we were chopping it up, and he was like, so is it the green light? And we are just, and I was like, I'm ready. Like, and that was another moment of like Soul Threadz is my full time, and at the time I didn't have anything in the queue or in the pipeline, and I was like, I'm ready to do this collab with you. So we finally did it. We posted the first look on Sunday, which was the video. That's a whole vibe. Now we're just like starting to post all of the content, and just a little background to the collab. It's called Camp Malay Soul. His brand is called Malays. Mine is Soul Threadz, of course. And the whole story behind it, we have custom made patches that have a story, but the whole story behind it is like the camp that keeps you growing. So we're just trying to like add more fuel to people's fire, and just like shining a light on really, like, you have to be good. You have to grow yourself, and you have to be good with yourself, and everything around you is going to grow organically, you know, or you're going to learn things. And maybe it's not even going to be like a positive situation that comes into your life, but like, how I look at everything is everything that I experience is a lesson. And even when it's not a happy experience, what did I learn from that?
Something good. What do they say? Something good always comes out of something bad. Even it's hard to put it that way, but you learn something, you realize something, you know?
You learn, and maybe what you learn is really just resilience. Like, fuck, I don't want to go through that again.
And I can't do it again.
Yeah. But what am I going to do to take a step forward and to move on from that situation? So what I really liked is Malays is a very like streetwear brand, and I feel like my brand, like I feel like I have some streetwear in there, but I'm built on community, and there's more like emotions attached to Soul Threadz, and like Caesar and I have talked about it. And meshing the two, I feel like we're bringing our together, which is huge. And if you don't know about Doherty, and if you do know, you probably, to be honest with you probably only know like so little, because it's a small city and nothing really comes out from Doherty. But what we want to do is we want to bring the communities together, like not just Doherty, but the surrounding cities around us. And just like my brand is built off community, and I feel like with this launch, it's going to bring communities together.
Oh yeah, for sure. what can the listeners expect, or what can they see coming?
For Soul Threadz, I am literally fully booked the rest of this month in pop-ups. And the one thing that I wanted to do is make sure every single pop-up had something special. So even if you go to every single pop-up, there is something for you, something new for you every time. And I'm not necessarily talking about like a launch, but I'm talking about like what I'm
The
doing
experience. Yeah, the experience.
for the event. And I don't know if you guys can see through Zoom, but I have a tooth gem in my tooth.
Yes.
I'm getting into tooth gems. So I'm actually, that has something to do with my next launch.
Yes. I'm very happy that you're going to do it, because now I know I can go to you, because I love tooth gems. I want my tooth gems. So now I know who it's coming from. You feel me? Like it's you.
Yes.
I would trust that process, and I would definitely want to support that. So you let me know, baby, when that tooth gem
I will.
just bling me up. I'm excited. That's dope. Look at the result you're getting. Keep pushing, because this is for you, girl. Soul Threadz is you, baby. Like keep doing it. Keep doing it. Other than that, where can the listeners find you? If you guys love this amazing soul Janelle, this is where you can find her.
Yes. So I'm honestly just really active on Instagram. I love pictures, and I feel like that's where I thrive. So you can find Soul Threadz on Soul Threadz LA. So the S is a Z in Threads. LA on Instagram, soulthreadzla.com. That's where you can shop. Super excited for what's to come, and I appreciate Vanessa for letting me be on here and just like chopping it up, and like
Yes.
I feel like I'm like talking to my homegirl. Like
no, yeah.
Like when you were talking.
I'm like, bitch, yes, we girl, yes. No, but Janelle, I want to say likewise, girl. I really wish you the best. I think that what we always say on here, the main, like when people come on here, a lot of people always share, and it is true. We all have come to that agreement. Like you have to love what you do in order for it to work. And Janelle, like you literally, you're very transparent. You can see what you feel. You can't fake what you're going through. You can't fake what it is. You feel me? And I'm the same way. I cannot hide when I'm going through it. Like, bitch, I cannot hide it. But I think it's all, sometimes it sucks, right? Like it sucks, but it's like, at least you know I ain't bullshitting. Like it is what it is. I go through these things, and Janelle, I have no doubt in my mind that you're gonna go far. I'm sure you're gonna make your parents very proud. I'm sure they are very proud. You feel me? And bitch, like I tell everybody that I know got it. I'll see you at the top, baby. I will see you at the top. Hell. I'm happy that you agreed to come on, just as happy as you are to be on. I'm happy to have you on. I'm happy that you were nice enough to reply and even come on here, because a lot of people aren't willing or don't want to, and you can't take it personal. You can never take it personal. But this is how it starts, bringing everyone together. I can't believe y'all. I really thought she was Latina, but that's totally fine, because that's a compliment now. That's a compliment. I'm just kidding.
It's like, okay.
No, but I'm sure I'm not the first. We keep it real reckless on here. Janelle, again, I wish you the best in everything you do, girl. We're gonna definitely keep in touch. Thank you for being a part of this, and even opening up to the listeners, my listeners, your listeners. Shout out to everybody that just putting up today, y'all. It's your girl Nessa motherfucking Nandies. You know we on the real ratchet and motherfucking reckless. Don't forget to hit the link in the bio to catch up with a bitch, and we'll see you next time. I'm signing out.